Hello, hello, hello. Hi everybody. How are we doing today? I am personally doing actually pretty solid. It's been a day full of all of the things, but it's been a pretty good day so far. Very excited to be back into this. Um, ALP. Yeah, very excited to be back. Doing some Slay the Princess. Very excited to see where this goes. Um, you all probably expect me to say what I'm about to say, but yeah, we'll go for like about an hour, and then we'll wrap up. Not super long today, because I am a little bit sleepy, so I would like to get to bed, and also it's important to get to bed at a good time. So yeah, so we're probably gonna wrap up around 12. Um, yeah, with all that said, I think we can just go straight to the thing. How dare I be tired? Well, LP, you are correct. I should not be tired. In fact, fatigue is for the weak, but I unfortunately today am one of those weak. But yeah, I'm going to just quickly whoop, whoop, swap on over. Um, I am constantly blown away by the game's just really beautiful backgrounds. They're so awesome. They're so cool, and I think that this team really deserves some props for that. But you all know this by this point. um, but yeah, we're just gonna hopefully the save is still there. It would really suck if that was gone. Now I do not remember the last thing that happened watching a TV show and was caught off guard by one of the actors being Nick Cage or being Nick's voice. Oh, interesting. Um, ooh, but yeah. All right. Straight in, straight in. Here we go. Ooh.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Can't someone else do this?
You're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't.
Do I get some sort of reward for this?
But you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Forget it. I'm not doing this.
No, you have to do it.
No, I don't think I do. Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
How vague. Oh gosh, LP, I'm sorry that happened. I hope you're okay. What decision to make? Look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her. And if she's as bad as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her. But I'm not committing to anything until I've had the chance to meet her face to face.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If if you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Interesting.
Then each and every one of us is doomed.
So all you'll tell me is that she's dangerous, I'll be rewarded, and that I shouldn't speak to her.
So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
I think I
Make
will.
your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Oh, do tell me more.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
My thoughts exactly.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Not taking that with me.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Oh, you would say that, wouldn't you?
Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. Good.
Continue.
Still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
What this one's?
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Oh, is there?
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Hello, Usagi. My day was pretty good. My day was pretty good. Oof, I'm full. Hold on, I gotta get back in. Whew. I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, Usagi. This game is not that scary. Ooh, excuse me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you know what? That's a fair point, Usagi. The game does have its moments where it's a little
You're
bit
making
spooky.
a huge mistake.
You know, the game.
No, you're doing the right thing.
Anyway, on the note of the game.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
Oh, that's interesting. I know that there's a lot going on here that has to do with perception. Like my perception shapes
I'm guessing you
how
don't
the
have the
world
key?
works a bit. And the narrator's very aware of that. That's interesting. We'll see what that becomes.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
And if there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas?
Maybe there's there some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
I'm sorry, what?
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
That's still, a rather extreme.
You attempt to
Let's
make
see
your
what
way
else
out
we
of
can
the
do.
basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut.
What?
You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Huh?
Is someone else here?
Let me out of here.
Shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
I'm sorry. Let's try the
You try
door.
the door, but it's locked from the outside.
Are you doing this?
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom?
My thoughts exactly.
Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
Half convinced you're the one putting us in this mess.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
It appears so.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates.
Sweet hell on fire.
Arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing with the determination of wolf.
Why? I wasn't expecting that. Ooh, this game does have the horror tag, huh?
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal.
Make it stop.
Blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
I will tell my personal truth. I came down here with the complete intention to save this princess. And then, she started chewing her arm off. I am terrified of whatever this is supposed to be. I'm not going to lie. That was interesting indeed, Pasatag. I'm not going to lie. Pure just gut reaction, shock. I think I grabbed the knife and stabbed.
Hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally.
Like, ah!
The wound drives her to the ground. Okay. There's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
I certainly hope so. You're in my head.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
No, you just started chewing on your arm.
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
I am certain you'll bleed out if we wait long enough.
Made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
Well, way to defeat the "you'll end the world" allegations.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure.
Neither am I.
Don't waver now.
Lesson of the day, don't eat your arm. It's a good lesson.
As you ready your
Sweet
blade to
freeze.
deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm.
Princess, what's going on with your nails and your fangs?
Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw.
Tooth and claw.
Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival.
Oop, I dropped
now.
my note
Give her
cards.
everything you've got.
Let's go! Slay the
When your nerves
princess!
are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well. Your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back.
Good old dagger.
You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees.
Multiple compound fractures, some lacerations. I think I'll live.
We can still turn this around.
We got this. Finish the job.
Steel your resolve and to take another step closer to the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can still make sure that she won't make it out of here either.
What a cheery story you're telling, narrator.
Excuse me? What's this about not making it out of here alive?
My thoughts exactly.
Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now. Don't act so surprised. Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling you apart? If the princess doesn't do you in here, blood loss is certain to finish the job.
Out of character? I think the narrator has a vested interest in killing both of us. But we're gonna see.
You take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you.
Ah!
The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons.
Fleshy
And then you
ribbons.
stop. Neither you nor princess able to go any further. You collapse on the ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade away.
She's going to vow eternal vengeance on us, isn't she?
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
Dang, now I feel bad.
Silence as the room starts to get fuzzy around you.
Dang, I don't want to end on that note.
Terrible price, but you've saved us all. It's over.
If you think this is it, you're sorely mistaken. One way or another, I'll make sure you pay for this.
I suppose. There's not much I can do about that now, is there?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Usagi, there is currently only one VOD. It should be uploaded, and I am going to go through and do some highlights, because I really liked that stream, and there were some moments that I liked a lot. But yeah, this game's great. Chapter 2, The Witch.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
What's going on? Am I alive?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Wait. I'm getting it. Hasn't this happened already?
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
What do you mean?
Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
I'm so confused. There's two voices in my head now?
I'm not sure we can trust him. Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all of this has already happened. Why should I listen to you? Why should I even bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Point.
We were just weighing our options in a morally ambiguous situation. You can't blame us for weighing our options. We did our best with the information we were given. And we did kill her. And yet you still died, didn't you? So congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We killed the princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
He makes a point.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
You're talking in so many words.
Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? That's a very good point. This princess character seems like a lot of trouble, and if you think about it, actually slaying her probably breaks us out of this cycle, right? We don't want to be stuck here forever.
Perhaps?
You're laying it on a little thick, aren't you? Laying it on a little thick? What are you talking about? I'm sharing my honest opinions.
Okay, finally. That was bothering me.
What matters is that almost everyone seems to be on the same page. So whenever you're ready, you can stop dawdling, get to the cabin, and save the world.
I don't... Let's talk about this princess.
About it.
To quote you from last time, she's... Wait, actually, no. Here's a good question. Who locked her in that basement?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
That was not an answer. If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special.
Don't let him butter you up.
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Good point. That really explains almost everything.
Am I the only one who finds that smells like fish?
I'm not so sure about that. You know, you're right, but it explains almost everything.
It smells like fish. You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
Ignore any muffled sounds of violence you hear. You're covered in rain! I don't know if it's possible for us to fight the narrator directly.
If you want us to stand a chance against
I'll
her, we need to
keep
be
my
armed with
eyes open
information.
for an opportunity.
What is she really capable of? How are we supposed to stop her?
Wait a minute, I missed his answer to the question that I asked him. All the way down. I've told you everything you need to know. Go into more detail would simply overcomplicate the situation, otherwise it would just make your job more difficult. Dear friend, could you hand me that? It fell. You're getting your water all over it. Cool.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word.
Your word seems full of holes and not very trustworthy, and it smells like fish.
I don't think either of you really need to press the man on this. He wants us to slay the princess, so why would he have anything to hide? He seems like a nice guy to me.
You also smell like fish.
I appreciate the vote of confidence, but you should really stop wasting time chatting amongst yourselves in the woods. So, if we could move this along?
She killed me by ripping me to pieces. Don't get me wrong, it was terrible, but how can someone like that end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
She killed me last time. How can I make sure that doesn't happen?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world.
That's all?
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Oh, is it now?
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
You would say that, wouldn't you?
Don't worry, I think we've taken that lesson to heart at this point. You can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots, the walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happens to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
What about the mirror?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You would say that, wouldn't you? What about the mirror?
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
This whole cabin is
Very
different.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
Okay. Important decision. Last time we didn't take the blade. This time, do we take the blade? I don't think we do. She's... maybe we do. Maybe we'll take the blade. We'll take the blade.
You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
I have no intention of doing as you
Well,
tell
if
me.
we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea.
No. Last time we came in here, we betrayed her. This time, I'm going to be up front. I want to know what's going
The
on.
basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Skitters is such an unpleasant adjective.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Oh dear. Hello.
I reckon recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
Certain you do.
See? She knows us. Is this enough for you to believe what we've been saying? Maybe, but you shouldn't let that cloud your judgment. She's just a princess. As long as you remember that and remain focused, slaying her will be easy. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is.
And that is?
Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk?
I agree with him.
You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess.
You're all rather chatty in my head.
Fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
I did not agree to holding my hand behind my back.
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
She's acting like she already knows you. I guess what you said back in the woods really was true.
Yes, now, if you would, shut up, we're having a conversation.
That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out?
Oh, dear.
Call it deductive reasoning.
Shut up.
Well, you seem to be great at it.
They're gonna go on like this for a while.
So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true.
There's an entire other person in this room.
You fought us on it back in the woods.
Lord have mercy.
That was when the only perspectives we had were yours and mine.
Could you, maybe?
I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us?
Stop talking.
Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy.
Please. Just shut your mouth.
Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
I'm sorry, it's been commandeered by 3 stooges. This is the first time. Game of the year. Well, I guess that's already happened. Game of next year. They have the exact reason why I did things. Hold on. I'm not doing that yet until I've spoken to you. Anyway, this is exactly why I did what I did, so we're clicking on that.
Did get out of hand, didn't they? But it's hard to let bygones be bygones when they led to murder.
Fair point.
And you started it.
This is true. No, I guess I'm going to give her the blade as a gesture of goodwill, and then she's gonna kill me.
You can't be serious.
I'm very serious.
Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her. What if she uses it to kill us? I vote no.
I'm not on your committee.
As do I.
This is my body.
I, abstain?
Wise decision.
You abstain. She's going to kill us if we give it to her.
This isn't a democracy. We're giving her the blade.
You're going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? But of course you do.
I know nothing.
You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
You hear a clanging of metal against the dirt floor, and the chains fall from the princess's wrist.
Oh?
She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart. It's a shame we just gave her a weapon, because if I were her, I'd use it on us right now.
Well, we haven't exactly gotten on her good side.
Luckily for us, you're not her.
Fair point.
Oh, we sure think alike, though. I can promise you that. Whatever you say next, you better make it count.
Love an opportunity to speak?
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
So these are all really good. This is what I'm feeling, but this is what I'm going to say. If you're like someone I know, you're probably going to kill me.
Oh, hey, that someone is me, and yes, you're right. That is exactly what I would do. Her shoulders tense and her eyes dart away.
You know me too well.
Not sure what that means.
The princess grits her teeth, and her cunning gaze once again meets yours. And then she buries the blade in your heart.
I wasn't expecting that.
What? No, come on, that's not right.
Yeah, I shouldn't have expected anything else.
I told you this is what she was going to do.
Should have said the first thing.
Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it. I got you. You...
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern. Her nervous eyes brim with tears.
Huh?
Why? Why did you let me do this?
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark.
Oh, this is the first time we've died. Or like by ourselves. The first chapter 3. The Thorn. This is so cool.
You're on a path in the woods. She stabbed us. She actually stabbed us.
Oh, shut up.
Of course she stabbed us.
No, there's
You
not
voted
4
for
of them
which,
now.
I might add, I voted against. But the whole point was that she wasn't supposed to do that. The whole point of giving her the blade was to break the cycle
I
of violence. She
don't.
just killed
There's
us
so
anyway.
many of them now.
I guess it really doesn't matter if she killed us, though, right? We're back here, which means that everything's
We're
fine.
not back
Fine,
here.
Jason.
This is new.
Maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change. Maybe that's all it'll take to show her that there's another way to do things.
Things are mildly different than they were
You
last
know,
time.
Maybe you're right. In which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try.
Before I click, here are my predictions. There is no cabin, the woods are empty, and we're going to die alone.
Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right? Like that changes anything. We all know the game is rigged. It doesn't even matter if she's nice this time. I'm sure he'll find a way to turn us against each other.
Please, I'm begging you. Shut up.
Great. So you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died at least once.
Twice.
Sure.
Oh, no.
Twice. Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. You already know about the princess, and clearly you already know that she's dangerous. So don't muck this up. It's bad enough that this isn't your first time through.
Oh, there's a cabin. And this narrator seems, less willing to argue the point. You sure seem to be taking the whole looping thing in
What do you
stride.
want me to say? It's bad that you've been here before. It's bad for you, it's bad for me, and it's especially bad for the world. The more times you run through this, the more likely it is that you'll fail. You've already failed twice.
True, I
So
suppose.
you knew this could happen. Theoretically, sure, I knew this could happen, but I was supposed to be the first. I'd really rather not get into it.
No, let's get into it.
Great! Not even he really seems to get what's going on. If the guy who goes around acting like he knows all the rules doesn't even know how this works, what's the point in listening? Then we can all move on and forget what I said about failure. It's important that you believe in yourself, and the fact you're here probably means that you still have a chance to pull this off and save the world. My world, at least. Sounds like you've probably doomed a couple of others already.
Just one.
I need to stop talking. Think happy thoughts.
Keeps changing, I
Wonderful.
suppose.
If the woods themselves are changing, then that's all the more reason for you to take this seriously. It would mean your grip on things is slipping, which, in turn, likely means her influence is spreading.
Huh?
Someone's in the know. I've had enough of these annoying little secrets. If you want us to do this, you have to let us in on your game already. All of your game.
That would be nice.
I've already said too much. The more information you have, the more difficult your task will be. Don't listen to her, definitely don't free her, and if you can, don't even think about her.
What are you saying? Screw the cabin. What happens if we just leave?
She gets out is what happens. Maybe not right away, but eventually. And a world that's doomed tomorrow is just as bad as a world that's doomed today.
That's a way of looking at it.
I'm not sure I buy that. Everything has to end eventually. If it takes years to get out of there and supposedly end the world, then we've bought everyone that time. And all without having to murder anybody in the process.
I'm kind of into cheated. He seems like he knows what's going on.
Not that she's innocent, but murder is unpleasant and risky. It could be a better solution for everyone. You're here to permanently end the threat she poses. You're not here to temporarily postpone it.
No matter what happens next, seems as though all our answers are in the cabin. Let's see this through.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point.
This is so cool.
I don't know if I'd say everyone.
Okay, so I don't know what the rules are, and that's so cool, because I thought I did.
You talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one, too.
Shut up, you.
Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters. You know what you have to do.
Leave and get pizza so she doesn't eat her arm again. That's not a terrible idea. Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore.
Oh?
The burned out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old.
What's going on?
The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table, A pristine... Wait, this isn't right. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
Where's the door to the basement?
We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it, can she? Well, it's not here. And if she has it, let me guess, you want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just the smart thing to do. I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work.
Okay.
Of course we don't get to make a choice about the blade. Every single time we come back here, something has to be different.
How do we even get down there? The only thing I see is that mirror.
You're right, the mirror is back. There isn't anywhere for us to go. But there isn't a mirror. I still don't get his angle here. Seems like whatever we do, he's always going to say it isn't there. He's either a liar, or he doesn't hold all the cards. I think we already knew it had to be one of those. So, is the door to the basement behind the mirror? I promise you there isn't a mirror, and there isn't a door to the basement. The entrance is more of a burned out frame than anything else, and it's right there on the far side of the room. Do you really not see it?
Approach the mirror.
You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement, hesitating before you begin the descent. It went away when we touched it last time. Not that this place always follows the same rules.
Wipe it
Reach
clean.
forward and wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. You really thought there was a mirror there, didn't you? That can't be good. As if things weren't unpredictable
I like
enough.
this narrator a lot more than the others.
Figures. Well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it?
This is true.
Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us.
Enter the basement.
You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a
Oof.
fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease, at least on the way down. But you don't need to think about the way back up just yet. That's a matter for after
That's
the walls consent.
creative.
I'd say this feels like a trap, but you practically said as much. Yet you still want us to keep going. They're only thorns. I'd say getting a few scratches in exchange for the lives of everyone in existence is a fair trade.
Ugh.
I'm sure you'll manage. Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion,
Oh dear.
rolls up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? We kill each other and you come back. You let me kill you and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
I don't know what I want. I never really chose to come here.
I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't leave. So, come down and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
Proceed.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once
Oh,
a vast
gosh.
open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess, her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
I can cut you free. But you'll have to give me the blade.
And I'm supposed to believe it's safe in your hands? That you aren't just saying what you need to say in order to fool me and save yourself?
You're not the only one who yearns for freedom. I'm as trapped as you are. I think we need to leave together. I don't like this one. Is there nothing I can say to change your mind?
I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
She's right, there's nothing left to say. So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own. Careful with that one. He's not the smooth negotiator he thinks he is. But it does feel like we're stuck until we do something. If there's even anything to do besides make things worse. We're not making things worse. I think she wants to trust us.
I think we need to leave together.
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you.
No, those are bad. Then maybe it's past time for either of us to say anything. All that counts is action. I hate that one because it could mean two things, and I want it to mean the not aggressive one.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms. I'll be damned. She really gave it to us.
I would love it if you two would not start speaking.
Feels like it's been so long since we've held real power in our hands. I wonder what we should do with it. We free her, obviously. It's the right thing to do.
I think the only one of these that I have ever consistently liked is the voice of the hero.
I think you're right. She's as much a victim in all of this as we've been.
Cheated is
Besides,
actually pretty good.
It would really stick it to him to free her. Or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance. That sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him.
I don't like either of you.
We've all said our piece. Now it's time to make our move.
It's not our move. It's my move.
It's 2 against 1.
No. It's me against you.
It's 2 against 2. You don't count.
None of you do. As much as I appreciate your input.
And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
She is just sitting there watching me stare at her while I have this internal conversation.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
I just wanted my blade back. You're on your own. That is the worst one. Anyway, cut her free.
Yes. What a good idea. Let's cut her free.
Oh.
Oh, so you're suddenly team free her? You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision. I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action. Let's free this princess.
Please stop talking.
Even if he'll stick a knife in our back as soon as he has the opportunity, it's still better to have him nominally on our side. At least that gets him to shut up for a while.
I'm actually a big fan of Cheated.
See? We're all friends here, united in our actions and intentions.
Silence.
Yeah, united. But the other one has a point. If it keeps you quiet, sure, we're all friends. You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not going to do that, are you? Still, all it would take is a single slip of the blade. Is that really all you've got, threatening us with an accidental misstep? I expected more from you. Our blade didn't even waver when he said that. Yeah, you're right, he's a bit of a nobody, isn't he?
Huh.
Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the beginning. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
That line is the soul of every game master for any tabletop role-playing game ever.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
Remain silent.
Her hand slips into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs.
And are we both about to die?
Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out. You're getting desperate, aren't you? Even more proof that you can't actually do anything to stop us. We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes.
That's more than a few scrapes.
I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of the way. What a pathetic showing, really.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
What do you mean? Step in.
As you step into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this? It feels so good to hear you say that you're admitting you've lost, and we've bested you at your own game at last.
Dang, Cheated's kind
I
of
don't
petty.
care what happens now. That's all I've wanted. You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
Step into your freedom.
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into a new day, you irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now?
Not sure.
Where's everything going?
I don't know.
Why is it so cold?
What's happening? Princess! Princess! You do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
No,
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
it's okay. It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before. You always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. It's going to do something to us. I can feel it. If they think it's bad, I'm with them.
It's not the end. Whatever's on the other side is going to be nice.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. So, this is all going to work out? Finally! We're going places.
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've withered. Wait, what? You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Doesn't matter how many times I go back. At least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
I just want it all to stop.
It will, in time, but you still have a ways to go before we are done. Know that I hold no malice for you.
How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Have you figured out what you'll want when we're finished?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one yearns for connection she feels she doesn't deserve. Even when shown compassion, she hid herself away. She will make for a cautious heart. Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
You still not care what I bring you next?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
So you don't have any preferences on how you'd like to change or grow?
The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me.
I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a prince.
Let's save. As much as I desperately want to continue, we are unfortunately going to have to end today. Right about here. Trust me, it is not what I want to do. I am, in fact, more excited to play more of this, than I have been to do most things in a very long time. This is simply excellent. How Dare I LP is, unfortunately, I just have to end at the time that I set, which is sad. Yeah, no, every time I open this up and do a new route, it's a little different. There's a little more information. And then I have to forget all of it. Forget all of it by the time the next one starts. No, Void. I just left the Void. Weren't you paying attention? Yeah. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with me tonight. Have to catch up on it all. There is only one other video. So, you know, it's not too terribly much, and I promise it's all good. There is not a single moment of this where it is boring, and I genuinely, and I could be wrong. Oop, hydrate, hold on. Oh, I'm gonna turn the music off, just so that I can hear myself think a little better. Aw, champion. I appreciate that. But yeah, and I genuinely think, what was I saying? I genuinely think that watching my playthrough will not prevent you from having your own, because there's so much difference depending on the choices you make, and then it'll lock you out of the routes you have already done. But each route apparently has the potential to go significantly further than we thought. Like, this is the first time that we saw chapter 3. This is the first time we had like we withered instead of grew, which that is crazy. Like there's so much about this game that I have not yet seen. I know that there are multiple endings because like this is just that kind of game. It's so cool. It's so incredibly like this is the kind of thing that, like I'll wake up in the morning and think about. Like it's just this is just so awesome. I'm just like I cannot fully express how excited just thinking about this game makes me. It's so awesome. But yeah, and like it's really awesome because the whole thing with like it how it handles its routes is something that I always get slightly worried about whenever I play a game is like is the experience of someone watching me play something worse than if they just played it themselves? Because for me, I love to share stories. It's like my whole thing. And I would hate to in the act of doing that take something away from other people. And that's something I was worried about with this game. But because it's so awesome, because it is simply excellent, they just kind of handled that for me. And they're like, yeah, no, don't worry. Literally, if you sneeze left, right, center, or backwards, completely different route, completely different story, completely different tale. It's just so cool. Hold on, I've completely dried my mouth out. But yeah, it's awesome. If you are interested at all in it, I absolutely recommend it. We'll be back next Friday. And I'm gonna try for another day. We'll see what happens with that, but I am gonna make an attempt for one more day of Slay the Princess. I do not know if Tuesdays are going to be streamable anymore, but Monday might be. We'll see. Schedules being shifted around stuff. We're gonna see what happens. But Friday night for sure. Friday night we're for sure. Hopefully I'll be able to start a little bit earlier so that we can go for longer. But yeah, that's where we're at. Again, thank you guys so much for coming and hang out with me. It truly means a lot. Text me so I can know how the thing went. I will text you. I was intending to text you. I just wanted to keep it off of the internet. For all the reasons, because I am myself and weird about stuff, and it doesn't matter. It's whatever. Yeah, I will let you know. But yeah, I think. Is there anything else that I have to say? Is there? Wait. Am I forgetting something? Let me pull up my handy dandy book of plots and schemes real quick to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. There shouldn't be anything that I'm forgetting, but we're gonna double check. Oh, I do need to update this. Yeah, do that. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so upset when this game's over, because like then I have to do other things. Yeah, we have a lot of very interesting stuff slotted for after we complete Slay the Princess. That's a sad sentence. After we complete Slay the Princess. The worst thing about a good story is that it ends, because then you don't have any more. But it's also the best thing. So I am not looking forward to the ending, but I am looking forward to seeing how they wrap up this incredible package in a neat way. Yeah, lots of cool stuff coming after that. Good stories are the cool, exactly. But yeah, I believe that is everything I needed to say. So, good night, everybody, or morning, or whatever time it is wherever you are. Thank you for coming and hanging out, and I will see you all next time. Bye.